Oh, good day. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know by now that Sir Barristan Selmy has definitely been killed off in Season 5, Episode 4. The Game of Thrones YouTube channel uploaded a preview for next week's episode in which the opening shot was Selmy's dead body. And the actor has confirmed it in an interview also. I'm quite pissed off. To give his character a bit more depth, I thought I would read a passage from tonight's book of choice, A Dance with Dragons, by George R.R. Martin. In this particular passage, Sir Barristan explains to Dany how he fled King's Landing, went across the narrow sea and eventually came to serve her. It's a badass story. I'll let it speak for itself. But Dany asks Barristan what went down in the throne room, what Joffrey said, what he said back. What did you say? The truth. But the truth was never welcome at that court. I walked from the throne room with my head high, though I did not know where I was going. I had no home but White Sword Tower. My cousins would find a place for me at Harvest Hall, I knew, but I had no wish to bring Joffrey's displeasure down upon them. I was gathering my things when it came to me that I had brought this on myself by taking Robert's pardon. He was a good knight but a bad king, for he had no right to the throne he sat. That was when I knew that to redeem myself, I must find the true king and serve him loyally, with all the strength that still remained me. My brother Viserys. Such was my intent. When I reached the stables, the gold cloaks tried to seize me. Joffrey had offered me a tower to die in, but I had spurned his gift. So now he wanted to offer me a dungeon. The commander of the City Watch himself confronted me, emboldened by my empty scabbard, but he had only 3 men with him, and I still had my knife. I slashed one man's face open when he laid his hands upon me and rode through the others. As I spurred for the gates, I heard Janos Slint shouting for them to go after me. Once outside the Red Keep, the streets were congested, else I might have gotten away clean. Instead, they caught me at the river gate. The gold cloaks, who had pursued me from the castle, shouted for those at the gate to stop me, so they crossed their spears to bar my way. And you without your sword, how did you get past them? A true knight is worth 10 guardsmen. The men at the gate were taken by surprise. I rode one down, wrenched away his spear, and drove it through the throat of my closest pursuer. The other broke off once I was through the gate. So I spurred my horse to a gallop and rode hell-bent along the river until the city was lost to sight behind me. That night I traded my horse for a handful of pennies and some rags, and the next morning I joined the stream of small folk making their way to King's Landing. I'd gone out the mud gate, so I returned through the Gate of the Gods, with dirt on my face, stubble on my cheeks, and no weapon but a wooden staff. In rough-spun clothes and mud-caked boots, I was just one more old man fleeing the war. The gold cloaks took a stag from me and waved me through. King's Landing was crowded with small folk who'd come seeking refuge from the fighting. I lost myself amongst them. I had a little silver, but I needed to pay my passage across the narrow sea, so I slept in septs and alleys and took my meals in pot shops. I let my beard grow out and cloaked myself in age. The day Lord Stark lost his head, I was there, watching. Afterward I went into the great sept and thanked the 7 gods that Joffrey had stripped me of my cloak. Stark was a traitor who met a traitor's end. Your Grace, said Selmy, Eddard Stark played a part in your father's fall, but he bore you no ill will. When the eunuch Varys told us that you were with child, Robert wanted you killed, but Lord Stark spoke against it. Rather than countenance the murder of children, he told Robert to find himself another bloody hand. We'll leave it there. Thanks very much for being a part of book club, and R.I.P. Sir Barristan Selmy in the TV show. No,